Welcome to episode 442. Have you ever tried to manage stress, but nothing you're doing seems to work? What if the issue is not that you're not doing enough, but that you're not truly understanding how to manage your kind of stress? Because not all stress is the same. In this episode, we'll explore how Ayurveda understands different expressions of stress and why recognizing your unique pattern is the first step towards creating true balance in your body and mind. Welcome to the Elements of Ayurveda podcast. I'm your host, Colette. And if you're new to Ayurveda, I recommend starting with the first few episodes where I introduce the foundations of Ayurveda and the doshas. To learn more, work with me, or explore my offerings, you can visit elementshealingandwellbeing.com. And for podcast updates, join me on Instagram at Elements of AyurvedaPodcast. And before we begin, just a quick note to say that this podcast is for educational and inspirational purposes only. It's not intended as medical advice. Now let's dive into this episode. Hey there, and welcome back to the podcast. It's Colette today for a solo episode where I'm talking all about stress. In modern life, we often speak about stress as if it's one single experience. We might say, I'm stressed, and assume the solution is the same for everyone. But Ayurveda offers a much more nuanced understanding. From an Ayurvedic perspective, stress is not one size fits all. It expresses itself through the lens of the doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Each of these doshas governs different qualities in the body and mind, and when they become aggravated, stress takes on a very specific shape. This is why what works beautifully for one person can feel completely ineffective or even aggravating for another. Ayurveda does not ask, are you stressed? It asks, how is stress showing up in you? And that question changes how you approach managing your specific type of stress. So let's take a look at how stress manifests in each dosha type. Let's begin with Vata type stress. Vata is made up of the air and space or ether elements. It's light, mobile, dry, and it's like the wind in nature. And just like the wind, it can be irregular. When Vata becomes aggravated, stress tends to feel like too much, too fast, too ungrounded. Too much, life becomes overwhelming, which leads to procrastination due to indecisiveness. This is not due to a lack of motivation. It's just due to too much going on, feeling overwhelmed. And there can be decision paralysis. Too fast? Well, the nervous system and the mind are in overdrive. You might notice racing thoughts, worry, or anxiety. Your mind may feel busy and scattered, jumping from one thing to the next. And too ungrounded, you may feel ungrounded in your body, spacey in your mind, and perhaps even a little disconnected. And with Vata type stress, sleep can become light or interrupted, and maybe you may even suffer from insomnia. And digestion may feel irregular, with bloating and gas. This type of stress is often triggered by overstimulation, too much input from screens, news, travel, or simply a fast-paced, unpredictable lifestyle. Irregular routines, like irregular sleep times or irregular meal times and constant change, can further aggravate Vata. Now, when it comes to supporting this Vata-type stress, the key is not to do more, it's to slow down and create a sense of safety and steadiness in the system. This might look like warm, nourishing, regular meals at consistent times every day. Gentle grounding practices like slow yoga or quiet walks in nature. Or Abhyanga, the warm oil massage to help calm the nervous system. And it may look like reducing sensory input, especially in the evening, so you can calm your nervous system before bed. Ayurveda offers great herbal support. And as I've said many times, these herbs should always be prescribed by an Ayurvedic practitioner, doctor, or Vaidya, someone to truly guide you. Because if you're taking herbs that are not right for you, you could cause further aggravation. And so Ayurvedic herbs and advice always needs to be tailored to each individual. So please keep that in mind. And now let's look at some herbs that can be beneficial for Vata type stress. Ashwagandha, which is an adaptogen, and it can help in calming anxiety, excessive thinking, and hyperactivity. Jatamamsi, it's a nerve relaxant and has a great rejuvenating effect on the mind. And Shankapushpi, which is great for calming the nervous system and really helpful in cases of anxiety and insomnia. Another great alternative which you could easily implement is a simple herbal tea infusion like chamomile, valerian, or lavender tea. These can all be incredibly supportive for Vata. And so in summary, when you're experiencing Vata type stress, you do not need more stimulation. You need warmth, routine, a sense of grounding and support when life becomes stressful. Okay, so let's take a look at Pitta type stress. Pitta is made up of the fire and water elements, and it's like the sun in nature. It's sharp, hot, intense, and focused. When Pitta becomes aggravated, stress tends to feel like pressure, urgency, and heat. You may notice irritability, frustration, or impatience. There may be a strong inner drive to get things done, often paired with perfectionism or self-criticism. And it can become difficult to switch off, even when you're tired, as the mind becomes very intense. Physically, Pitta stress can show up as tension in the neck, the shoulders, the upper back, and inflammation in the body, where the inflamed area may feel hot to the touch. There can also be acidic stomach, acid reflux, or sharp and intense headaches. This type of stress is often driven by high expectations, either internal or external. A fast-paced, goal-oriented environment can keep Pitta in a constant state of doing and striving, without enough space to rest and cool down. The support here is very different from Vata. Pitta does not need more discipline or structure. It needs calming, cooling, and more moderation and fun in life. And so this might look like taking breaks without turning them into another task or competitive event. Spending time in nature, especially near water or in shaded environments away from the direct sun. Letting go of constant productivity and allowing moments of simply being. Gentle, non-competitive movement. And time away from screens can also help settle the intensity, especially taking breaks during the workday, like going for a walk after lunch. Herbal support for Pitta type stress can include calming and nourishing Ayurvedic herbs like shatavari, which cools Pitta and calms heated and intense emotions. Jasmine can help to calm an irritated and hot nervous system. And Gotukola is great for Pitta burnout, and it's considered to be a great Pitta rasayana, a rejuvenating herb. And even simple herbal tea infusions like rose, licorice, jasmine, or dandelion tea can support cooling and calming the system. And so, as a reminder for Pitta type stress, one of the most important shifts is internal. Moving away from, I need to do more and every action needs to be purposeful, to, I give myself permission to slow down and just be sometimes. Okay, so now let's explore Kapha type stress. Kapha is made up of the earth and water elements. It's like a building block providing a steady foundation. It's heavy, slow, stable, and grounded. And when Kapha becomes aggravated, stress can feel less like anxiety or intensity and more like heaviness, dullness, or withdrawal. You might notice low motivation, fatigue, or a sense of emotional heaviness. There can be a tendency to withdraw socially, procrastinate due to a lack of motivation, or feeling stuck when that building block of Kapha becomes more mud-like because of the presence of too much of the water element, which happens when Kapha becomes aggravated. It feels like you're wading through mud physically and mentally. Digestion may feel sluggish, and energy can feel low and dense. This type of stress is often linked to stagnation, whether that's physical, emotional, or mental. It can also arise when emotions are held in, suppressed, or not fully processed. Now, supporting Kapha is about gently inviting movement and lightness back into the system. And so this may look like a brisk walk or more energizing forms of movement with intervals in the morning during the Kapha time between 6 and 10 a.m. Getting outside in the fresh air and sunlight, especially for a short walk after eating, because the first stage of digestion is the Kapha stage, and this is when Kapha can feel that heaviness, especially when aggravated. Or creating small changes in your routine to break up patterns of stagnation, especially if you're in a sedentary job, getting up every 20 to 30 minutes. And connecting with others or engaging in uplifting group activities. Herbal support can include stimulating and invigorating Ayurvedic herbs like Vata, which helps to remove mental sluggishness, improving focus and clarity. Brahmi, which calms the mind and soothes the nervous system. And Tulsi, or holy basil, is a mild nervine and great for removing heaviness. And again, even simple teas like ginger, turmeric, cinnamon, or Tulsi tea can be helpful to incorporate into your daily routine. For Kapha, rest is not always the medicine. Often what's needed is activation. So in summary, Kapha does not need more stillness. It needs movement, inspiration, and stimulation. When we begin to understand these different expressions of stress, it becomes clear why one-size-fits-all self-care often falls short. For example, a Vata person doing intense, fast-paced workouts may feel more depleted and ungrounded. A Pitta person doubling down on productivity and discipline may feel more stressed and burnt out. And a Kapha person resting more and withdrawing may feel even more stuck and lacking motivation. So rather than asking, why is this not working for me? The real question is this aligned with what my body and mind actually need right now? Before we try to fix or change anything, Ayurveda invites us to begin with awareness. What does your stress feel like right now? Is it scattered and anxious, intense and pressured, or heavy and withdrawn? You may even notice a combination, or that it shifts over time, and that's completely normal. This is not about labeling yourself. It's about understanding your current experience. And even this simple act of noticing that this is a temporary emotional state can begin to regulate your system. When you feel seen and understood by yourself, there is often a natural softening that follows. Remember, awareness is the first step. And in order for that to happen, we need to slow down and reflect. And I find the best time to do this is in the early morning when everything is still. Take some time to check in with how you're feeling, physically, mentally, emotional. And from there, you can make decisions about your food, your lifestyle, your workday, and your self-care that day in order to support your body and mind. Ayurveda provides us with the wisdom to empower us to take charge of our own health and to make those decisions. And I know it can feel overwhelming when you're new to Ayurveda. And so to start with, I recommend choosing one small aligned shift. So if you're feeling Vata type stress, perhaps that one small shift is eating a warm, nourishing meal in a calm, quiet environment at the same time each day, sitting down at a table with no distractions and just focusing on your food. If you're feeling Pitta type stress, it might be stepping away from your desk in the middle of the day or putting down your to-do list and have your lunch outside without an agenda. Just enjoy being in nature. And if you're feeling Kapha type stress, it could be a short, energizing walk in the morning, a time when Kapha can feel heavy. Or if you can't go walking, then open up the windows, allow the fresh air to enter your home while you practice some sun salutations. And you don't need to do everything. Just begin with one practice that meets you where you are. Over time, these small, appropriate shifts create meaningful change. So I want to leave you with this. You're not bad at managing stress. You may simply be using tools that are not aligned with your current state. Your body is always communicating with you. It's not working against you. This week, instead of trying to fix how you feel, begin by noticing it. Get curious about your pattern. See if you can meet yourself with a kind of support that truly matches your experience. Because when there is awareness, there can be alignment. And when there is alignment, there is often a natural sense of ease. Now, if you would like support and for me to assess your current health status and put a strategy in place for you, then please check out my online services on my website, elementshealingandwellbeing.com. I offer one-to-one online consultations where we can work together to design a practical, sustainable plan with meal timing, self-care rituals, and strategies that are balancing for your doshas, along with lots of education on your unique mind-body type. This way, you'll have a truly individualized roadmap to stability and well-being. I also offer online self-paced educational programs. I, of course, have the Digestive Reset Cleanse. Private one is available at any time throughout the year. And I also have my Reset, Restore, Renew program, which combines all my online services, the consultations, the Digestive Reset Cleanse, and the self-paced Daily Habits for Holistic Health program for a truly transformational journey of healing and well-being. And as I said, you can find all those details on my website, and I'll also put a link in the show notes. And if you have any questions before booking, please take advantage of my free 15-minute services inquiry call. We can hop on Zoom and I can answer all of your questions. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. And if you think that this episode will be helpful to family or friends, please share it with them. And don't forget to follow or subscribe to the podcast, and the new episodes will automatically download for you. And if you would like to leave a rating and review, I would really appreciate that. And please come join me on social media. On Instagram, it's Elements of Ayurveda Podcast. And on Facebook, it's Elements Healing and Wellbeing. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take good care of yourself, be well, and bye for now. Slán go fóill.